Hey guys, it's Viejo here, and it's the end of the first week of September in 2023. Got kind of a nice day out here on the central coast of California. It's a little breezy outside, but other than that, it's nice. I went up to the range today, and I had several things I was going to shoot. And last week, our good friend CW Longshot put out a call to say, hey, let's see your rimfire stuff. So I took one. I've only got a couple of rimfires. I'll show you the other one of these. I think you may have seen it before anyway. My old Ruger 1022 that's pushing 50 years old. I've had that sucker a long time. This is my Savage B17 in 17 HMR. I haven't shot this rifle a whole lot. It's not quite as accurate as I was hoping it would be when I bought it. It does okay. I shot it at 50 yards today, so there's no target video. The GoPros that I use just won't pick that up out that far, but I show you the target after I shot. And I shot 3 groups. I shot 2 groups of Hornady 17 HMR ammo. I'll show that to you here in a second. And I shot some CCI green ammo. But basically, it's a decently made bolt-action rifle. We got a 10-round rotary mag. It's reminiscent of a 1022 magazine, if you've never seen those. It's a 10-round rotary mag. But I kind of, I like the round. It'll turn a squirrel inside out at 100 yards if you can hit it. It's a kind of a fun one to shoot, nice bolt action. The scope on here is the same scope that I have on my, on one of my 223 rifles. All right, so here's our Savage B17, 17 HMR. Just kind of go through a quick run through here. Okay, we got the Crossfire 2 scope mounted on there. That's a nice scope, for this guy. I think I paid almost as much for the scope as I did for the rifle, but anyway, not a real expensive rifle, but the easy maintenance, right? This has always been like about a 2 MOA rifle at best for me. Part of it's me, and part of it's the rifle, I think. But that's, minute a squirrel is good enough. You plink one out at 100 yards, you're doing okay. So, and that's primarily why I got it. My friend Bonnie, who some of you have met on one of our live streams one night. She's got a nice piece of property out there, and every other year or so, the ground squirrels start trying to take over, and we go out, and her grandsons and devastate them. And this is the devastator. Not when you want to go knock one dead and try to eat what's left, because there isn't much left. It's quite around. Anyway, so let's go ahead and I'll show you the ammo that I used. I used, as I said, some Hornady VMAX and some CCI. So let's look at those. Here are those 2 rounds kind of side by side. You can see the Hornady VMAX there on the left, and that is a 17 grain tipped bullet, okay, polymer tip. They advertise that at 50 feet per second out of the muzzle, and then out at 100 yards it drops down, I think something like just under 2,000. Then over here, the CCI green, okay, lead-free. It's a hollow point round. Little bit lighter weight, 16 grains. And so most of that's the copper jacket on there. And similar in velocity, 2,500 at the muzzle. And, surprisingly, to me anyway, is that that green ammo shoots pretty well. In fact, as you'll see, I shot a little bit better group with that than I did with the Hornady. And I've got a lot of this Hornady stuff. Okay, so I took this up to this new range that I've been shooting at, and I took a little bit of each of these two ammos. This stuff, the green stuff, is a little more expensive than the standard polymer tip round from Hornady, but they're both pricey now. They're 35-40 cents a round. Now that's a lot of money for a rimfire, if you ask me. Fortunately, before California passed this new deal where we can't have ammo shipped mail order directly to our home, we have to have it shipped to an FFL. They're going to charge a fee for that, and it raises the price even more. So before that went into effect, I bought up enough to last me quite a while. Okay, so I've got plenty of ammo for it. You know, it's all paid for, sitting there ready to go shoot. So anyway, we went up to the range, and I didn't shoot too many of them. I shot 30 rounds. I shot 20 of these in two groups, and only 10 rounds of the CCI green. Technically, here in California, if we're going to shoot game, we got to use lead-free ammo. So that's partly why I have this. Not to say that this can't take a good ground squirrel, but we're supposed to use this stuff. Anyway, it doesn't matter for target shooting, at least on this range that I shot at. So let's go ahead and cut in a little bit of range footage there. You'll see the setup I had, and yet I didn't anticipate very well when I got there. The seat that's provided was too low. I took my own rest with me, and it wasn't a good height to use at that new facility where I'm shooting at. I need a higher chair, or anyway, I'm standing up behind the rest, which I did shoot it from a rest. We shot it out at 50 yards. It did okay. You know, kind of tricky to shoot the way I was shooting, and I'm kind of standing crouching behind my Caldwell rest, but it worked. So I put about 30 rounds through it. Shot 3 groups. I shot 2 with Hornady VMAX and 1 group with the CCI stuff. That CCI lead-free is expensive, so I didn't shoot too much of that. And they both shot okay. My first target, not all that great, but it was cold bore, clean. And I had shot this thing, like I said, in several years, so it was kind of fun to get it out. Let's go look at the range footage. It's not much, right?
You referred to this friend somebody who was one of those people.
One of the guys that she was dating,
Yeah.
when she was the cheapest date in the world, she married him. No, one of the guys, she did the sleeve thing. She was the cheapest date in the world, so when she was dating, she would be like,
Yeah.
and one of those guys she was dating.
Well, out one night with a friend. You go into a bar, and I see many years ago.
Okay, so there's the first 10 rounds with a VMAX. We threw one up there. There's 10 rounds there with CCI, pretty decent group. And another 10 rounds there with a VMAX. So that's all at 50 yards. All right, so there it is. It's kind of a nice rifle. I think the next time I shoot it, I'm just going to put a bipod on it. My Caldwell lead sled it's up too high on the shooting tables that are there, and their seats are too low. It was just a bad combination for me, and I hadn't thought of that when I went up there. It's either that or I got to take a pad or something to sit on top of that stools that they have there at the shooting stations. They just didn't work with my lead sled. It was too high, and so I had to be on my feet, down, kind of half laying down almost to shoot the damn thing. Okay, so there's my answer to CW's rimfire challenge, the 17 HMR made by Savage, the B17 model. Been a decent rifle for me. Again, not the most accurate that I've ever shot, but you've seen me shoot, so you know what that means. I do have a lot of fun with this. It's taken a bunch of squirrels. And I think that before I sign off, I'd like to push out a little bit of a challenge. There's a number of folks that I've never seen shoot rimfire, but I know that they do. So I'm going to put a challenge forward out to Mr. James Pugh. So James, what do you got for 22? Get it out and show us. You don't have to shoot it. Just get them out and show it to us. All right. For now, that's all she wrote.